Hi, this is Mr. Fleming, and it's December 23rd, and this will be the last video before you go to your Christmas holiday. Your 7th and 8th grade classes had projects due, and that was to have your 4 emotions and a 4-panel cartoon. And for many, because of snow days, because of the cohorts, I did not get a chance to see them. Don't worry about it. The progress reports are in, but we have time before the end of the quarter to make sure that all the grades reflect your hard work. In Art 1, you would have a 2-point perspective drawing done. You were also supposed to make sure the 2-point perspective was not the major element, but a supporting element in your design and composition. Art 2 was typography, and you had to illustrate the poem, Fire and Ice, or a poem of your choice. But the letters and the words needed to be an intricate part of your design. Art 3 and 4 working on figure drawings, and they were supposed to do a male and female figure, and the AP students, of course, working on their independent study. And we're expecting one of the quality sustaining pieces done before the end of the quarter. Now, for the holiday, we had to kind of get a lot of stuff done, despite a lot of people not being in school, including teachers. But what I wanted to focus in was the process of how the project should work in all the classes. And with all the classes, what I want to see the process done in your sketchbook. Now, in the classroom, I did the first step on the board so everyone could be clear on it, okay? Here are my thumbnails. Now, thumbnails are actually very, very small. This would be actually the thumbnail that I'm looking for in your sketchbook. Just rough sketches. And here you can see I have a Christmas drawing with Joseph, Mary, and Jesus. And here I just have Mary and Jesus. And I'm working on 2 different types of spaces. And I'm working on the vertical, and over here is the horizontal. But I have a couple ideas. But in the classroom, we did it up on the board, so they're very large. And what I went through is that you have the ability to place the foreground, the midground, and the background anywhere you want. And that should be part of your design element. The first one, of course, is here I'm going horizontal, here I'm going vertical. But within that space, I can really arrange deep space or shallow space anywhere I want. But those thumbnail sketches, and several of them, there should be several done. In the classroom, I show you these pages. I really do want to see the work done in there. You should have a color wheel in there also, as far as where we are in the midterm. And here are the studies for the project we did in the class. So those are my thumbnails. Here are my roughs. And I actually gave this rough as a handout to my students in the classroom. But this just gives me an idea to work with as far as what I want to do for my final draft. But we also mentioned that you should have a clear understanding for color also. A little technical difficulty over here. Let's take a look at this one I finished up today. So here we have the Christmas elements that we talked about. We have Mary and Jesus pushed very close to the foreground. It's really kind of not to make them the focal point, but we do go off in the distance to have the 3 magi way off there in the background. And the star really is more in the midground. It could even be said to be in the foreground. But you can see here I do have a deep space behind, a very compressed space. And over here I did the very same drawing in graphite. And you can see that it has different qualities, but one is not better than the other. I have this unfortunate question in the classroom a lot, which, Mr. Fleming, do I have to use color? And the answer is no. Color is just one of the many elements we can use. And in class, I talk about line, color, shape, texture being the elements of art. But there are many, many more. But with those, I can make certain principles occur within the drawing, like a focal point, like space, like balance. Those things I use color or tone to create. A principle such as space, emphasis, mood, movement, all of these things can be accomplished. But whether you use color or not, I want to see the work. I want to see your color studies. I want to see you experimenting. I want you to have grayscales, and then make a final draft. So that was the last one. We did the 3 wise men here also. And again, I'm using that compressed space up front, midground, truly midground, then truly background. We accomplished, we talked about abstract art. We got into a little bit of a discussion about abstract art. And some of the critiques of this one was Mary with the lobster claws, which I thought was kind of funny. But here we're using color and shape in very, very different ways. We're also working on the vertical. Very clearly, these are complementary colors, red and greens. Although the orange and blue are complements, that blue is not correct against that orange. It should be a different type of blue to get the vibration that we want. But that's just another technical point. We talked about flesh tones, that we can mix colors to get flesh tones. And of course, we talked again, this was the other abstract one that was not really abstract. So from my sketches, those are the drawings I was able to come up with. And again, we were trying to get composition and design to be part of our lesson. But that composition and design was supposed to be built on a very clear study of tone, color, and pre-drawings, which we call thumbnails and color studies. This will help you grow as artists. This will help you grow as students. We're not coming back until January 11th. I hope to put more videos up before then so that we have a jumping off point. But I got to stress this. You have to work at home. While you're in school, I require 3 hours of drawing outside the classroom. You're in the classroom 2 days, and you're home for 3 days, so I say 3 hours is a good amount of time drawing. 15, 20-minute blocks, I think, work well with novice students, novice artists, people who aren't used to drawing. That's a good time. Do not feel like you have to draw anything in particular. Of course, the projects, but you should add more of your own studies, your own observations, your own ideas in your sketchbook. But while we're home, while we're fully remote, you should be looking at my LMS, of course, and you should commit yourself to 5 solid hours in that sketchbook. And I would say 3 very, very focused hours in that sketchbook. There's no way around it. If you're an athlete, you have a regular routine of calisthenics and diet to make you the athlete you want to be. If you're a musician, you have to have time to practice your instruments and care for your instruments. And the visual arts is no different. You have to have exercises and drills and a routine of producing art on a regular basis. In the classroom, it's a little bit easier. But even outside the classroom, you should have your own routine of producing your art. One of my routines is around Christmas time, I make homemade Christmas cards. And I'm going to turn these into homemade Christmas cards. They won't be in the classroom. And 6 lucky people will get cards. And if I am good, I might even get a few more done before Christmas because I really do love art. It made my life better, richer, more enjoyable, more colorful, and I think it can add to anyone's life. So please make art, because art won't make itself, and have a blessed, joyous Christmas. And may no love, joy, and peace today and always. Feliz Navidad. Prosperos año y felicidad.